What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today I wanted to share my overall thoughts on the Far Harbor DLC for Fallout 4. And this is of course the third DLC for the game, and I've spent at least 10 to 15 hours playing through the story on my Let's Play and just exploring on my own. While there's still plenty to explore and find beyond that 10-15 hours, I feel I've had enough experience to give an overall review on this new content. And since I know a lot of you are watching this to decide whether you want to get the DLC or not, I'll start by talking about it with no spoilers, just, generally, in general terms, and I will warn you when we dive into spoiler territory. The TLDR version of the following review is that I love this DLC. Far Harbor is everything I could have asked for out of a Fallout 4 DLC. It's really the DLC that I wanted since the beginning of the game. It includes several hours long storyline with multiple possible paths you can take, which offers plenty of replay value, so I already want to go back and play it again after making the decisions that I made. It also challenges the core themes of the vanilla game with a compelling and complex story about synths and identity and the morality behind it all. Among many others, one of the most important questions asked in this DLC is, if you are a synth, are you in control of your own thoughts and your own actions? It's a really compelling question, and this DLC really dives into that and explores that through one of its main characters. Far Harbor also brings a few new base weapons with their own modifications, along with a dozen or so unique weapons with their own unique special legendary modifiers. And I can't tell you how happy it makes me to see this many new unique weapons to find, because that was one of my favorite things to do in previous games. I would literally go down the list of unique weapons, go and find each and every one, collect them. I love doing that. That's just one of my favorite things to do in Fallout. And so the fact that we have so much of that to do in the Fallout DLC with Far Harbor, I'm very, very happy about. The DLC also offers a huge new location up in Maine. I'm sure you guys have heard it a billion times. This is Bethesda's largest, DLC landmass that they've ever released. And Far Harbor has a unique terrain and ecology that is starkly different from what we experience in the mainland areas. As a result, the general feel is really unique. You do feel like you're in a completely different place. It's like going from Alaska to Miami or something like that. It's really crazy. And so you have this, really rough terrain and all of this really irradiated water and dangerous areas. A lot of the monsters that I've fought throughout Far Harbor so far, they have not been easy. They've been pretty tough because they're severely irradiated. That kind of goes along with the story. And of course, we have all of this fog hanging around the entire island. And I've seen people in reviews complain about the fog, that it's annoying or irritating. I can understand that as a point of complaining. However, I have to ask, did Bethesda achieve what they were going for? And the answer is absolutely yes. They were trying to, shroud this entire island with mystery, with this mysterious fog, this irradiated fog that made everything feel a lot more dangerous than it was in just, the Commonwealth, in Lexington or Concord or some other place like that. They absolutely achieved that. The island is littered with mysterious locations and unmarked activities, even more so than the vanilla game. One of my complaints with the vanilla game with Fallout 4, the $60 retail version, is that it didn't have a lot of locations that seemed to matter. A lot of the locations that were kind of rural, just out in nowhere. Some of them might have had terminals explaining what happened there. Some of them might have had a note, but a lot of them didn't, and it was kind of disappointing. And so with Far Harbor, I don't seem to have that problem, because everywhere I go, I find something unique about the location, some kind of backstory. For example, there's a nuclear submarine commander, his little story with his wife in one of the hotels. Also, the other day, I just uploaded a video on the Cranberry Island kind of puzzle, and that was a compelling little unmarked quest. And there's just a lot more memorable experiences so far that I've had on the island. Maybe it's because they had a lot smaller of an area to work with. It's not, small by any means. It's fairly large, largest landmass DLC Bethesda's ever released post-launch, whatever. But it did offer a lot of memorable experiences so far, and I've really, really enjoyed that. This experience is very reminiscent of what we had with Fallout 3 DLCs. Very story-driven, very memorable, and that's the big takeaway with Far Harbor. I really, really have enjoyed it so far. Bethesda really sparked my interest in Fallout 4 again by sending me to this mysterious island under mysterious circumstances. It's also worth pointing out that bringing Nick Valentine along as my companion really brought a certain familiarity to the entire experience that I loved. Honestly, honestly, I wouldn't bring any other companion to Far Harbor if I had to choose. At least in my recent memory, I don't remember Bethesda using a companion as kind of the springboard for an entire DLC like they did here with Nick. Bringing Nick along really enriched the experience overall, and I can't imagine not bringing him. Before we head into spoiler territory, overall, Far Harbor reminds me of what was so good about Fallout 3's DLC. It's a memorable experience that takes you away from the main game, gives you a unique kind of vacation Fallout experience, and then brings you back. And it's still all familiar, it all fits, it all makes sense. And Bethesda really hit it out of the park with this one, in my opinion. This marks the end of no spoilers, so stop watching now if you want to avoid spoilers. I definitely want to dive deeper into the main quest line and story because in a lot of ways I think it was more compelling than the main quest line of the entire game. I've talked about that before, but the mystery and intrigue about behind Dima was excellent, and I really appreciated that Bethesda came out and revealed his identity immediately. We didn't know his true motivations until the second to last quest, but he wasn't some shrouded figure that was too important to reveal himself. He was kind of just out there and willing to reveal himself. What I truly love the most about this DLC, I think, overall, is that I'm still contemplating whether the so-called peace option that I went for and achieved was actually peace, because in effect, by helping Dima plant a synth in the nucleus, as Confessor Tectis, I helped make the synths in charge of the entire island without anyone else except for Acadia and the synths knowing. Obviously, we have Dima at Acadia, then we know Captain Avery at Far Harbor was replaced a long time ago by Dima with a synth, and now High Confessor Tectis is a synth as well. It makes me worry if that's what Dima wanted all along. That was his master plot from the beginning. If I really even needed to go through his memories to find them and tell him, or if that was just an elaborate act by him to manipulate and exploit me. The very fact that I'm even worrying about this or contemplating my decision is incredible. Bethesda really hit the nail on the head with the whole conflict and the choices in the past. I fully expect myself to go back and try different paths, maybe choose the Children of Adam, blow up everyone else, choose Far Harbor, kill everyone else. On my very first playthrough on the Let's Play on my channel, you guys saw that I chose peace with Dima, even though I don't think it's peace. And during the process of trying to replace Tectis, I only did one thing for him to kind of convince him in order to kill him and the rest of his guards. And he realized I was trying to kill him, so he met me and was trying to kill me. But apparently if I'd done more side quests with the Children of Adam, that wouldn't have happened. I would have actually convinced him that I had something important to say and he wouldn't have been suspicious. Plus, I completely ignored the side quests in Acadia and Far Harbor that would have obviously also influenced, any of the number of options that I could have taken. And so just the fact that I have so much more to experience, so many different paths at different stages in this quest line, player choice is so clearly, obviously, abundantly important in this DLC, and I love it. That was something I really, really wanted out of it. That's something that I cited in my expectations video for Far Harbor, like a month before it was even released. If I had to have one small gripe about the DLC, it's that I would have liked to have seen the vanilla factions have some sort of presence on the island. I do think that the Institute did, because there's a courser quest with Acadia, so you could have, hunted out a courser. So the Institute did know of Acadia, obviously, because there's a synth refuge. Of course, you would expect the Institute, the all-knowing Institute, to know something about it, but some more kind of presence. Maybe the BOS at the railroad I would have liked to have seen as well. But if they did that, maybe that would have taken away from the unique experience that, Far Harbor really is. It really is secluded and off on its own. It's like a vacation, like I said, a vacation Fallout experience. A lot of people have asked me so far for the previous DLCs if they're worth it. Are they worth the $25 standalone price? And for the most part, I believe the 1 hour per dollar spent rule is pretty fair. That's, you spend $25, you get 25 hours worth of playtime and experience. And Far Harbor offers several ways to replay and complete its main quest line, while having this giant island to explore, a range of unique weapons to find, and so much more. So personally, it's really simple. For my $25, I didn't pay $25, I bought the season pass, but for my season pass, Far Harbor was absolutely worth the money, and we're still expecting more DLC after Far Harbor to fill out that season pass and make it really worth its money. But so far, I absolutely would have spent the $25 US standalone price for this DLC. I haven't played 25 hours yet, but I fully expect to. I really do. There's so much more to do, so much more to explore. I'm really going to have a blast with this DLC, and I love it. Great job, Bethesda. Really, really enjoyed it. So I'd like to hear from you guys. After watching this video, what are your thoughts on Far Harbor? What is your review of this DLC? Was it worth your money? Are you still playing through it? What What do you think about Far Harbor? Share that in the comment section below. Alright guys, today I shared my review of the Far Harbor DLC in Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new or enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for Far Harbor DLC, my survival mode playthrough, Bethesda.net mods, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace.